Hey AIESEC!
What's up?
Hey AIESEC!
What's up?
Okay, so I'm your election manager, I'm Sean.
I'm your election manager, Joanna.
So here we are. After we launched our MPF as November 2nd, 22nd, we finally have two brave fighters who are ready to stand up at this stage and to show what's their dream. What's their dream for Taiwan, for AIESEC in Taiwan, and even the world we live. Okay. So just like the coal, the great power comes with great responsibilities. Apply for MCP is never an easy journey. It is because the power behind the decision that MCP have to make, which can influence hundreds of people. And that is why the election is not always about the hard work that they need to prepare, but it is also about the excitement and enjoyment to foresee the future of this organization. So here, in order to, so first of all, I'm going to brief today's agenda. So from now, we are doing the election opening to do some introduction and also behavior setting. And later, the candidate will come in to deliver their opening speech and manifesto. After that, we are cover the questioning, which are subcombo questioning, MC team questioning, and also candidate questioning. And we'll come to the end of today's election agenda. So as I mentioned, apply for MCP is never an easy journey. So here, to reach back their efforts, I want to remind you again the behavior that you should have throughout the whole election. So first, stay neutral. That means being objective and don't influence others' decision, or you have to be independent thinking. And second one, to be concentrated, to listen and remember and record every word that that the candidate say. So you have to take a notes as well. And after you take a notes and record it, please do think and reflect. And last but not least, please be on time so that the election can be smooth as well. Okay. So for later, the presentation, there are some regulations I'm going to explain as well. So for opening speech, each candidate will have 10 minutes to deliver this opening speech. And for manifesto presentation, they will have 15 minutes. And we will ring the bell when there are 3 minutes left. We will ring once. When there is 1 minute left, we will ring the bell twice. When the time's up, we will ring the bell non-stop. Okay. So now let's do some practice. Okay. So have you remembered that the video you saw yesterday? And one of it is telling you that when the candidate comes in, you have to stand up and show your respect and just clap up, give applause for them. Do you all remember that? Okay. So later we are going to try it. Because the candidate is like a superstar to this entity. And we have to show our passion and enthusiasm to them. Okay. Okay, so now I know sometimes you are shy and don't know what to do to show your passion. So maybe later, if you don't know how to show your passion, just imagine that the Ed Sheeran is coming in, okay? So he's a superstar as well, right? Like international superstar. And when he's coming in, so you start to stand up and give applause as hard as you can, and shout as loud as you can. And maybe you want to touch him, but you cannot because he has got bodyguard. Okay. So later, we're gonna try it again. Okay. So I will say let's welcome candidate number 0, and there will be a candidate number 0 coming in. So when I say it, you have to all stand up and clap and shout for her. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try it. So let's welcome candidate number 0, Lina Chow.
Thank you, guys. My name is Lina Chow, and I'm here to run for MCP election for 1920 generation. So for my opening speech, the things that I want to do for you guys is, the thing that I really want to do in AIESEC is, guys, this is a youth organization. So we're definitely going to have party every night! That's the thing we want, right? That's the thing we want. We're a youth organization. Hey, guys, be more fun. You know, pick up our passions and don't do what we really love. So that is the end of my opening speech. Thank you.
So when the candidate leaves the room, we are all just stand up again and shout for her. Okay. So let's try. So thank you, Lina. Okay, thank you. You may sit down. So later we are really going to invite our candidate coming to the room. Are you excited?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so remember to show your passion and enthusiasm when you come in. So let's welcome our candidate number 1, Pony Lu!
Chapter 1 is all about the beginning. I studied National Taiwan University, which is my home entity at TPU. When the first time I joined this campus, it has lack of resources. And also, it is not my priority of the campus I choose. But I don't want to restart again. I don't want to change, like to have 1 year preparation to get ready for another campus. The only thing I want to show everyone is, during these 4 years, I want to become the one that's totally different. I want to become the one who show everyone through the 4 years experience I grab all the things from this campus. I can become the one who are the different people and also spread out the impact. What can I do in the future? Then I found AIESEC. And the recruitment slogan, it shows me the different. 大胆冲撞你的可能. At that moment, I realized maybe that is my thing, the things I really want to happen. During AIESEC 4.5 years experience, originally provide practical experience, leadership experience, and also international experience. Talk about practical experience. The first time I joined AIESEC, I have an OGB team. At that moment, we are doing OGB to send APs to go around the world. Then I realized what is CSRN, how can I become the really best sales ever. During the middle, I have a really great imagination about finance summit, leadership summit. At the moment, we talk about a lot what is finance, CFO would like. Though in the end, I don't want to become the finance people, but at that moment, I realized this experience let me experience more, let me know more how to become a CFO. And realize before we got we make the decision, we can know more about it. Also, trainer is really practical experience that challenges me a lot. How to become a facilitator, get on stage, right now, share every one of you, my opinion, my thoughts. And also, how can I can become a coach when face to face, ask some guiding question, to let more people discover their potential, to find their why, their core, and also what's their future purpose. Also, it's forward. It's an experience that truly, like that every youth engaged in this organization to think about what is peace, what is fulfillment, humankind's potential. In the end of part, the practical experience let me know their experience and breakthrough. Through each kind of attachment we have, and let us know we are the youth, we are the young generation. We dare to fail, we dare to experience more. In the end, all the parts is become ours. Talk about leadership experience. In the past, I was the middle structure of the OGB, the VP OGB and double VPTN. In the end, I'm the LCP of ICTPU. In the past few years, I already have 32 members in my learning experience, and also 14 members lead that strive excellence to challenge their world and take higher road. In the middle part, still 9 members right now in the plenary, still 9 members still in AIESEC. They want to challenge more, they want to experience the potential. Maybe some of it is not because of me to take higher role, but it's fine. I'm really glad you own this experience and you want to challenge more and experience what I said in life. And also let's talk about the past like 22 members, maybe 18 members. It also let me know what leader I am, why they lead. And also let me learn how to become the great leaders. In the end, leadership is about mindset, character, and skills. How can I motivate them? What is the leadership style I have? That is the past 0.5 leadership experience in AIESEC. Let me know what is my leadership style and what kind of leader I want to become in the future. And next part, international experience. The first experience I joined is the ABC, Asia Pacific Conference, when I was in infrastructure. Yeah, I'm really thinking at the moment. Yes. But at the moment, I realized what is the Asia Pacific look like? How big an AIESEC this organization can truly engage all of the young person getting here to know our purpose, the reason why we are running AIESEC. What is our motivation? Why we are here? Through this international experience, let me know a lot about this organization can engage more and more people. In the end, I went for Tanzania for Global Volunteer. It let me know different kinds of words look like, and let me know how can we become the singular people to show this word behind what is the core, what is the problem, and positioning I am the global leader in the future. Through the whole international experience, it let me know the horizon, cross-cultural understanding, and also what is the peace. During the talk, I talked to many of China people, I talked to Hong Kong people, I talked to different kinds of perspective people, why they are here, and also what can we as a youth to foresee the future direction. These are the experiences originally promised when we get in the recruitment. And also, that is I realized in AIESEC throughout these kind of years. But right now, what's the challenge right now? What kind of experience we're providing to our, no matter EPs, no matter youth, even each of you when join AIESEC? Maybe some of you are just a newbie, and then you just realize that you have an EP position. It's an opportunity for you to grab it. But are we truly to provide this kind of experience to let you ignite your potential, to let you find your purpose, and also challenge yourself throughout the year? Look at the setup. Like only 8.6% of people will feel positive about what is Taiwan's look like in the future. What if all of us become the leader? We will not only become the rest of the 91.4% of people, they think about, yeah, it's negative. We cannot change anything. We just be one like, okay, yeah, that's our life, we want to move out, and we don't want to like break anything. How can I become the rest of the only 8.6% of people, and only we can become the leader to change the society, to change the global, and then we'll shout out, welcome from Taiwan. That is a change the impact we have in this generation. Also, right now, only 80 leaders lead over 900 performance exchange experience. Are we truly creating experience, or we just fulfill the standard of the checklist? Next, only rest of the 400 members will lead of them. Are we become the role model and also lead? Also find the role model. They want to become the leaders in the future. and about leadership recognition, you can have a check about AIESEC Taiwan fan page. You can have check about our website. Are we truly communicate about the young leaders, about the youth in Taiwan? What is leadership is so important in the future direction, in the future. And also, are we provide this kind, we are the organization provide this kind of experience to cultivate leadership. This is a bad generation and also it's the generation which means it's also good. For me, I see the opportunities, I see the potential of this organization. We can do more. We can experience more to create a better generation that we want to foresee the Taiwan youth can become better. In the end, AIESEC Taiwan creates entrepreneur and drive global leader in diverse learning experience. I promise you, in 1920 generation, we all of us, it is a platform that we can experience more, challenge more, and through diverse learning experience, we can be proud of we are a global leader, being agile entrepreneur. In the end, it's all about experience. What is the uniqueness of AIESEC? It's just because we are a user organization. It is a platform. We engage a partner to co-deliver leadership. We are used to become join this platform to take the experience, also facilitate experience. It is a movement. It's a movement that we deliver all the experience to make it happen. I'm Tony Liu. I'm your 1920 and speaking number one. In the end, AIESEC Taiwan creates entrepreneur and agile global leaders in diverse learning experience. Let's see how will 1920 generation happen. This is the end of my opening speech. Thank you, everyone.
So, okay. So later, like right now, the other dream fighter is already waited in front of the door. And now, let's welcome candidate number 2, Eric Lee!
Hello everyone, and dear AIESEC Taiwan, I'm your 1920 MCP candidate number 2, Eric Lee. So today, in the opening speech, I'm going to tell you about a story of change. So, what did you mean about change in your life or in your daily life? For me, I will share 2 stories about how the change really inspired from my AIESEC journey. So, when the time go back to 3 years ago, when I was an IGB member, this CP here, when she arrived in Taiwan, she was a very shy, very introvert person. She's really afraid of teaching class in the school. And also sometimes she even told me she wants to quit about her exchange. Because she thinks that she's not suitable for this project. But at that moment I heard this, when I heard she say it like this, I told her why shouldn't you give you a chance to do it? I can definitely tell you this exchange definitely worth it for you to make this change of yourself. So after 4 weeks, 4 weeks to 5 weeks time, she really changed it. She become a person who's very extrovert, become a person who is really willing to interact with the kids. And in the last day of the exchange, I go to a school and I look at her. She told me she's so glad that she take this project. She's so glad that she can meet this kind of student. She's so glad she met me. She's so glad she is in AIESEC Taiwan. So in the end, for now she's back to Indonesia already, and she is now also working in the education field. So this project doesn't only change her personality, also change her career field. So that's the first change I see in AIESEC. And also that's the meaning of life-changing experience that AIESEC we are really cultivating. It's not only leadership, but also life-changing experience. And for the second group of people will be my national teammates from 2017. This group of people tell me about like there's nothing impossible, only the things is impossible. Because at that time, this group of people, we stand up at a really bad situation. At that time, the function isn't really sustainable. But all of us working together, thinking about how can we change the society? How can we change society through OGT dysfunction? So we did a lot of breakthrough, and in the end, we successfully created a 100% retention rate for the LCBP for the next generation, 2018 generation. So this experience tell me like we shouldn't like to underestimate every we shouldn't underestimate myself or every self to. So even though you face these difficulties, please don't like judge yourself like I can do it, I couldn't do it, but think about how can I do it. So that's another story that I see how a group of people could change an entity, could change a society. And through these two stories, I think that I'm brave enough to take a bigger challenge. So at that time, I decided to stand up for my LC, to run for an LCP election. But in the end, I didn't get it. I lost the election. But to be honest, I really doubt myself. Thinking about, I already changed a lot. Why I still couldn't get this position? And when I'm thinking about it, it's like, is it maybe I'm not suitable for staying in AIESEC? Or maybe I'm not suitable for being a leader for this entity. So I kind of like doubting myself and giving up myself. But at that time, I'm thinking about more is maybe this experience telling me about this. AIESEC will not only create a successful story for leaders, we'll create a failure stories for these also. But through those failures, we can figure out it's like how can we perceive our failure to become our motivation to make us move forward. And this story also telling me it's like this also is a life-changing story for my AIESEC journey. Because in my AIESEC journey, I never failed for me to apply a higher position. This is my first time to fail. So maybe this is a good experience for me to know how can I perceive which area that should I move forward more. So that's the reason why I think about for a long time and standing out for the MCP. Because I'm thinking about maybe I can use my another strength, another potential to support this entity, to make entity growth in my perspective. So these three stories tell me about this. We should never think about the result that we are creating, but thinking about when we're doing those results, what have we growth in those processes, in those procedures, and what leadership do we really cultivate during these experiences? And that's how I perceive my change to become a true leader. To know about I'm really an AIESECer, living in AIESEC value, but also a leader who has the leadership. But that's my story. But when I look back to Taiwan society, the general Taiwanese youth, it seems that there's some challenging that we are facing. It seems that we are lost during the whole process, or even in this big environment. When I Googled it, like on website, like to discuss about what is the future of Taiwanese youth, what is the problem Taiwanese youth are facing, or what happened to the Taiwanese youth. And this result telling me is like, due to the political issue, due to the economic issue, it makes Taiwanese people are being into a hatred generation. In Chinese, we call it 厌世代. Because, well, why would this situation happen? Like, I believe that Taiwanese youth people are the people who are really wanting to change in this entity. For example, previously, we were doing a voting for the marriage right. A lot of youth standing up to tell the society about that this issue should be equal, should be taken care by the whole nationalities of Taiwanese people, and really did a great job. At the very beginning, the people who agreed is only 20%, but at the end, after the voting, it will show like 40% of people agree the result. Even though we're still fighting for it, but I think maybe when the time is right, one day this thing will pass. So I'm thinking about this like when we look at our society, how can we as AIESEC to change the society? Or even though how can we perceive the potential even though we are facing this kind of problem? So when I look back to us in Taiwan, I figured out it's like there's 16 LCs in 16 local communities, in 16 different universities. That is the potential. That is the thing that we can strive for us in Taiwan. That's the thing that we can strive for us in Taiwanese society, or even Taiwan society. So we shouldn't never underestimate ourselves, but thinking about how can we utilize these resources, these 16 different LCs, all of you guys, to make this country be a better place. And let us to be the people who awake the Taiwanese youth to become a person to change the society. To make Taiwanese youth become the change that we see. If Taiwanese youth people are wanting to stand up, wanting to speak out, wanting to tell the society that what are we thinking about? That should be the leadership that Taiwanese youth people should showcase of. And that's the uniqueness of us in Taiwan. Because like in the national plenary, global plenary, the uniqueness of us in Taiwan people is we are really passionate. We are really solution oriented. We are really value driven. So why not we keep these elements back into our society, back into our own country? So in the end, I think Taiwan will become a place where we can create youth movement by youth. We can develop capacity for the future needs of youth. And in the end, be the voice of youth, be the voice of Taiwanese youth. So that's my 3 years picture of us in Taiwan. And I'm married. When I 20, us in Taiwan, MCP candidate number 2. This is my opening speech. Thank you.
So now we are going to start our manifesto presentation. For this part, MCP candidates will elaborate how will they lead 1920 generation and how will have their vision and how to achieve that. So now let's welcome our candidate number 1, Tony Liu.
Amazing. That is the energy I want to see in the future generation. So later is called chapter 2. It's all about the direction what I want to foresee as a time of life. So this is my 1920 ASEAN Taiwan MCP manifesto. Chief delegate, you will receive the PDF of the manifesto. Please share to all the delegates. And you can see really clear on the size of the manifesto. So make sure everyone can keep this information. And also, if you have any question, feel free to approach during the visit time. Mention about ASEAN Taiwan will create entrepreneur and agile global leader in diverse learning experience. Let's talk about entrepreneur and agile. Actually, I said the way we run just like in startup. We have a lot of potential and a lot of things we can create, a lot of imagination. And right now, it's called Generation Z. We want to grab all the experience, we want to see and grab the experience immediately in the short term, in the short time. That's a trend for me. Newbie applying is not a problem. It's a trend. This organization need to echo this generation. And how can we react and also improve on it? Diverse learning experience also called about when the first time you join AIESEC, maybe you are a newbie and you pay for 1,500 for a newbie conference. And then you have the whole operation. And then you have a midterm exam. It feels things nothing to do. And then you end off your term. What kind of experience does AIESEC truly create? And also when we mentioned about like the leadership experience, like practical experience, like challenging environment, and also international experience. What kind of experience are we truly cultivating? I think it's a core that AIESEC can truly, through experience, develop leadership. So in this 1920 picture, there are three focus areas. First of all, AIESEC improving event. Second, enhance talent leadership capacity. And third part is entrepreneur and agile spirit. Let's talk about the AIESEC experience improving event. The measure of success, it should be like realization growth. We talk about internally, like when we do our GP, when we do our GT experience, like the training and also AP, when it comes to Taiwan and then set to global, like what kind of a mindset we have and what kind of behavior we shape to all of our youth. Actually, you went to the AIESEC visit, you will know that I really hate customer police wording. The reason why of it is just because the customer flow is the standard that we need to fulfill as a minimum. I think actually when the youth have a cross-country experience, we need to learn to foresee what is the potential and also what is the strength and weaknesses. I think that is the thing we need to mention. It's not about, okay, airport we got check, and also like IPS check, everything just like check standard. It's all about the experience we want to facilitate all of the youth. Yeah, you are in a cross-cultural experience. You need to accept the culture and also experiment with it. Also give you a challenge. If you want to become a positive leader, you want to become a different person, just try everything in your experience. So, no matter customer journey map your position to ensure our customer journey can have diverse and clear channel, no matter online or offline. And also, AIESEC experience differentiation. When you go for GB, it's not only about Thailand is a really great option. Malaysia is a great option. Also, you can go to Europe, you can discover yourself. We're not a travel agency, actually. We are the one who truly create the leadership experience happen. Imagine, like Thailand have really sustainable project called Sawadee Thailand. And also in Taiwan, we also have Dreaming Language and Camping Conference, this kind of sustainable experience. How can we make sure when the youth think about AIESEC, they can think about, yeah, Thailand's project, Sawadee Thailand truly challenged me a lot. It made me become what kind of people, what kind of person. And also when the training comes to Taiwan, they can see the difference beyond the Taiwan. It's not only about the people, it's not only about scenery. It's about what kind of experience when they touch with the rural area kids and also different kinds of people. In the other part, engage partner in event foreign channel holders. What I mentioned is just about how long we haven't communicated in leadership to the whole Taiwan youth in recent years. Take for Hong Kong, for example. Hong Kong have a youth sustainability summit. This summit targets the high school students when they get in here. We talk about peace, we talk about fulfilling kinds of potential. We engage the partner to share about what should youth to develop in the future, what kind of leadership you will have in the near future. Maybe we cannot hold the youth before that kind of scale of the conference to engage all of the Taiwan youth to join here. Think about what AIESEC is. Because in the past, Youth Forward, we also engage interview the online team, and also engage a lot of the company to share about what's the leadership about. Maybe the short term, like the focus and short term problem, it should be focused on our recruitment talent slows, our performance drop. But long term, we need to focus on what can we ignite the youth have a desire about leadership. So that is the thing I want to see in the future. Maybe it's not just straightforward. Maybe we can take Hong Kong for example. How can we make sure every AIESEC can be proud of their AIESEC experience when they get back to school, when they get back to high school, to share about their experience and then to maybe get for recruitment and also join the conference. I did it. When I was a baby TN, I go back to my school, high school, to share my AIESEC experience. 13 of the members, they listen to this experience, and 3 of them, they join AIESEC during the recruitment. I think that's a small part, we can do it, and in the long-way future, we can make sure everyone have a desire for leadership and also what kind of internal experience we have. Second, who deliver this kind of experience happen? It's about the AIESEC. So we need to enhance the talent capacity. Like maybe some of you are the if you are the VBTN recipient, VBTN. I used to be a VBTN. Okay, so even like the VB product, like when you're doing the coaching with the member, it's like, yeah, is the experience good? And your member say, yeah, they want to stay in AIESEC more or play higher role. Maybe I have some schoolwork or I have something else. A lot of reasons because of their schoolwork, because they want to set out the next direction. But in next semester, you will see another member join another club. Why? You told me that you have a lot of schoolwork still and join another club. This topic should be focused on, do they find their potential? Do they find their future? Also, do they see the role model in this organization? We already have EB, middle structure, and also member. We always redefine what kind of the flow we have. But let's see, how can we make sure each kind of work truly implement into our channel to cultivate and facilitate experience? We become a truly leader. And also that the members see the role model for AIESEC, this organization. So right now, we already have a really good channel called National Function Meeting. If you're an EB, you will know that. So how can we make sure to utilize this kind of resource to deliver is not only about functional strategy, to deliver is not only about what this operation focus, it's also about our management competency. It's also about what is the whole direction should EB have. We are cultivating the leader, it's not only cultivate the top sales, not cultivate the top marketer. It's also the thing I want to mention is about when we focus on the same issue, how to team solve it, to create some initiative. And also, behind the leader, what kind of leader we want to see in the future. How about middle? I think middle experience for me is really amazing. It's about we can execute a lot, try a lot of things, we dare to fail, and learn a lot. So also in this generation, it also happened we need to focus on like middle structure capacity. And if once middle and EB are really strong enough, remember, it's really hard for them to ask them that they can create an experience and also let them to know what is the future direction. So maybe we can do regional space to make sure they have the different kinds of experience when they see a role model in different kinds of capacity. Third part, entrepreneurial agile call is very easy. It's not only about like what kind of culture we want to shape, we shout out. It's also for my imagination. MCP product should do the LC visit and also engage all of the young people, all of the youth in LC. We share a lot of experience and also share a lot of experience with them to guide them what is the wrong way or the right way they are doing. And also, MCP product should focus on how can we engage all the LCP. Based on really big topic, we do some initiative and we try it. If we fail, it's fine. If we did it, that is your own ownership and also your performance. Take for NTH for example, they already in 16, 17, they already have that the global worker what kind of issue we have. And then in the MC initial project, until now, NTH still do this project. I just want to see like MC to LC relationship is not only about we are talk about some topic. It's also about based on the big topic. What should MC do? What should LC do? What can we co-create together to see what's the future direction? And next part, that's my structure, that's execute. So for B2C, I will also have an MCP PR and also MC marketing, OGD, OGT. So product, they focus on the experience development and also what kind of channel you can develop no matter the LC side and MC side. It's about the sales development. So we will have a specific target when thinking about AIESEC. They'll think about our volunteering experience, have the Thailand, have Malaysia specific project. OGD will think about we have Tata and Apple integration. For marketing, it's not only about how can we manage the centralized virtual marketing, it's also about how can we from online to offline, MC to LC, we can create a really consistent flow for each kind of the marketing system to make sure MC and LC deliver same quality and same experience to our customer. And also MCP PR is focused on how can we engage the youth and also raise the brand awareness. B2B is about IGB and IGBT and also BD. IGB and IGT, for IGB, right now we're facing a lot of challenge is about like our human resource capacity. So IGB, like our dream down language and also our campaign conference is a really foundation project. We should focus on the quality and also the talent capacity development. The data show that most of the campaign conference really drive the performance, but most of the members have a really low appeals, a really like low retention rate when they see AIESEC. So how can we reverse this experience? Usually the short-term experience, the OC experience is really amazing in AIESEC. They motivate a lot of people. They have a really clear goal and achieving the online experience. So for reality, I think IGB should focus on MC initiate some really breakthrough SDP project, some LCP policy, but also how can we equip the sales capacity for driven language, cooperate with the government. Right now, I think THU already have the government with the Taichung like city already. And also like different kinds of the partner we can engage and create more impact. IGT, like right now the future direction also focus on how can we use the supply management to test all the industry. We evaluate the data, like maybe marketing in tourism, what's the result when we approach the tourism company, when we approach different kinds of the resource, what's the result we have? And also, how can we make sure we can find the possibility? When the training comes to Taiwan, they can think about, yeah, Taiwan create like tourism marketing opportunity. It's really huge amount, huge potential. We don't want to try this potential. It is not only about like engage a partner for the event management. Also, right now we also have an AAT, this program. A lot of alumni, really amazing alumni here. How can we cooperate with the AAT, cooperate with the business? They are like-minded organization. They are totally agree what I said we're doing. We are creating youth leadership. So for BD, it's a long-term way. Maybe it's not only about like creating event, it's also about long-term career development. How can we engage all of the people, all of the company, all of the partners to see like what is the future look like? The talent we in AIESEC before they will leave, we also can see our potential in the future career development. For organization development, oh, it's so yellow. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so for organization development, it's about like the MCP TNOD. For my imagination about TNOD, it's not only the talent process. It's also about how can we do the monthly review system to make sure every LC quality, and also what kind of challenge we can directly point out to make sure LC can improve themselves and also they have a self-evaluation system. So for my future direction, TNOD will be really complicated and also review approach can provide some solution, provide some insight, no matter in product or in LC. Finance legality is not only about leveraging auditing and accounting. It's also about, in the future, how can we make sure membership can do some investment? Maybe some of the LC are in debt. But actually, if you're in debt, it's not the way that you cannot do investment. We can evaluate some projects, some incentive, cooperate with the back office to think about how can we invest the talent if they achieve a goal without it do their more learning experience happen. The last thing I want to no matter finance do the LC base, we do a complex relationship management. And also right now we have a legality process, no matter AIESEC visa. Imagine we have an AIESEC visa, more and more people when it comes to Taiwan, they have really legalized, they can do the project. So this is a process, like finance legality is really hard to let it to manage like a lot of projects, very simple and clear. For digital side, because of the organization capacity, we cannot recruit like IN and UI UX in my future direction. But the IN and UI UX is about how can we like engage in online and also discuss to find some talent if they are really interested in UI UX and IN. We can let them know what is the user experience like customer look like, and also to refresh our web page, to refresh our website. In the end, I will conclude. My imagination for organization development is build a foundation. Second, for BDPR marketing, is the way we are fighting for how to let everyone can see AIESEC, content AIESEC. In the end of part, each of the MCP product, they are really aligned to local activity. In the end, it's all about the experience that we want to foresee in the future. AIESEC, no matter LC, they can initiate a project, implement to the whole national. And also MC, we are really strong networking. We talk about the organization issue we have. So that is the end of my manifesto. Remind it again. And also, let's become the youth leadership movement to this generation to see what will happen. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now let's welcome our second candidate. Let's welcome our candidate number 2, Eric Lee!
Thank you. Okay, I'll just go into my original presentation. And I believe everyone has got my copy one. And for the copy one, the reason why I give it to you is because it will be more detail oriented. Because for the presentation, I wouldn't provide so many detailed information. Yeah, so you can just compare with my presentation and the paper. Cool. Okay. Okay, so just mention again, it's like for my 3 years of Vice Taiwan, my picture will be like it's a place that where we can really create movement by youth and develop capacity for youth and even become the voice of youth. So but how can we make sure like it will be happen in 21 and 22 generation? So in 1920, my main focus will be on we have to make sure the foundation, the LC situation is really sustained so that we can do a lot of exposure and 3 years later. So my 1920 generation, my Taiwan picture will be more likely to enlarge the exchange experience with an action-oriented mindset and finance sustainability. So how can I really make sure that we are really achieving for this picture? So there will be like three kind of measure of success. The first one will be the membership goal achievement. So which means like how can we really make sure like all the membership, are they really achieving their goal? Are they really achieving their purpose when they join AIESEC? And for the second one is a percentage of revenue and exchange income divided with revenue growth. So for example, it's like recently, like for the total revenue of in Taiwan, it's about like sorry, let me rephrase my word again. Yeah. So currently for this number, for recently it's about 65%. But previously there's 75%, which means like we are a little bit losing our focus, which is our exchange. Because the reason why I think is so unique is because like we are cultivating leadership through exchange. So we shouldn't lose our core, our essential. And so based on my future description, we'll enlarge the exchange experience. So exchange should be the core of everything. So everything when we are making a decision, we should be focusing on exchange. So no matter with finance or talent management, when they are doing the decision making, we have to think about, can this really achieve the performance growth? Can we really support the product growth in the reality? And for the second one will be the exchange-driven mindset. And third one will be, so to make sure our exchange experience are really cultivate leadership, so we have to still focusing on the customer experience management. And for the action-oriented mindset and financial sustainability, will be like, because recently in tenth generation, we are already doing for the annual fee revise. So also we can think about like, how can we really cooperate with MC and LC for the resources utilization? Because I believe that for the MC, we have created a lot of strategy, a lot of materials for the LC to use. But how can we really like make sure LC and MC we are working on the same boat to make sure we are achieving for the same purpose? Okay. So based on my picture, there will be two focus areas. So my first focus area will be exchange driven. So it mainly will contribute to that MOS. And for the like, how can we really achieve for the MOS? Like the key for the KPI will be like the first one will be MC to LC one-on-one week review bi-weekly. Because like if we really want to make sure like our MC strategy does it really implement to LC, we couldn't just release a booklet to the LC and we hope LC can know it. It's like for the MC, we should just go into the LC to understand more about what is the reality, to know more about how to the LC implement MC strategy. And does it really work? Because like if it doesn't really work, we should change it, we should revise it as soon as possible, so that we can be more relevant with the LC's reality. So for the strategy, the first one will be actual rate training and tracking. So which means like any training like system, for example, for the function meeting will be a national function meeting, or even though some workshop, or even though some touch point with the LC. We have to make sure that all the training that should be result oriented and also action oriented. Just like my opening speech mentioned about, I don't really care about like do we really create the result, or but the main focus is like, are we really making the action happen? And for the second one, be the efficient operation process. So it's especially like, how can we really accelerate the process for the OGX? So for example, if the OGB EP, when they come like to push the AIESEC product, how can we really sell a product that will sell a country to them as immediately? And so that we can make sure all the process is just like an SOP with an automatic system. And for the OGT, is that we should directly approach a specific channel, specific target audience. Because for GT, this product is really like have a really clear target audience. So we should directly approach them instead of do a massive marketing. And for the last one will be MC to MC network management. Because like the reason why I have put this as a one strategy is because like for the MCP this role is good chance for us, a good chance for the MCP this role to have a cooperation with AAT or even though BOD or even though the other entities. So how can we really utilize the other entities GCP to think about how can their GCP to support our entity growth as well. And for the second focus will be localization development, which makes that for the next for the next 20 generation, it will be more focusing on LC development instead of MC doing our own project. So for the KPI will be like the number of LC and product visits. So we can make sure like all the MCs supporting this LC growth, or even though does MC strategy really benefit to the LC's reality? And for the second one would be percentage of index growth related with OD model. So what does it mean? It's like in the OD model, there's 4 different kind of index. So especially in the more and better, so how can we really improve our quality? How can we really improve our number of realization? Or how can we really improve to decrease the process time? So thinking about each LC, you will have your own problem. But as an MCP, we have to support for each LC instead of just giving you a general strategy. Oh, sorry, just add on one more element is percentage of LCTM process and finance standard fulfillment. Some people will say like this is kind of like a basic thing, but for me, it's not just only fulfillment, just not only like give it a check, but also thinking about in the TM process, maybe in the get and development process, how can we really support the function growth? So we should hire the talent that this function is really needed, or even though are we really developing the function competency, or even though in the keep and report process, are we really doing the evaluation for our talent, or even though they just leave AIESEC and we didn't do any evaluate? So that's the reason why I keep the LCTM process by standard fulfillment as one of my key KPI. So for the first one will be the network empowerment. So this will be mainly focusing by MCP and MCP only, because at this role are the many people who will directly approach the LCPs in this entity. So thinking about how can we really empower them to try more, or empower them to have the growth mindset, or even though the benefit mindset today mentioned about. So thinking about how can we really do everything as a purposeful way, and even as a result-oriented way. And for the second one is LC growth model interrogation. So for now, I believe that some LCP already know that there's already have current OD model. But how can we really like separate into different LC? So for example, as a product function, we can directly have a different tier based on the LC's reality, based on the LC's performance. So thinking about like the LC kind of like we have like kind of like LC growth model become a dictionary for the LC. So think about if my LC is in tier 4, how can I utilize MC resources? How can I really like make sure my LC could be moved forward to the tier 3? So we can really in a really specific way to make sure this LC product is growing. And for the last one is TM process finance center in fulfillment implementation, which means like this TM process and finance center is a core of it's a minimum center of our back office. But thinking about how can we really utilize them into our function meeting, or even though into our product review. So for example, like for finance, CDN ROI, I believe everyone knows it. But usually we use it just mainly based on the review, quarter review, half year review. But thinking about, we can like give it a try. Is like after implement MC strategy, do we really increase the ROI and decrease the CPA? Because like if we are already follow the MC strategy, which means that you don't need use more time or more people to do these things. But MC are already working on it. So maybe you can think about like as a finance perspective, if we really follow MC strategy, could we really decrease some of the human resources or some of the finance resources? So this will be my structure. So as a core of my function, like IGB, OGB, marketing, OGT, and MPT, this 5 function will be focusing on the exchange-driven focus. So like thinking about how can we really make this product grow, how can we really make sure the LC are running this product healthy. And for finance and legality, OD and TM will be mainly focusing on localization development. So we going to make sure about is the LC really growing in a sustainable way, or even though is the LC really have a stable income to make sure the LC is really growing in a sustainable way. So break down into different product strategy. So how can we really improve the performance? How can we really improve the strategy? So for IGB, the reason why I would say is strengthened, because I believe the foundation of IGB is already really good right now. But we have to think about, is the productivity really suitable for the reality? Some of the LC you have like 50, 40 performance, but you don't have that much people to carry on this performance. Or even though some of the LC you have a lot of membership, but that's a performance. So thinking about can we really make sure the HR sense for the IGB VP so that they can make sure about they are utilize the human resources in a smart way. Sorry. And for the next one will be the build our national project design sense. Because back for this part, it didn't mean that I want you guys to create a new project for us in Taiwan. But thinking about if we have the project design skill, maybe we could like revise the product for DBL or even for camp to make it be more relevant to Taiwan society. So thinking about what is the different from education project in Taiwan or in Thailand. So maybe if the LCBP they have the project license, maybe they can be more relevant to the society need, and it will be more helping us for us to do the raising process. And for OGV, I believe that is mainly focused for each of the LC. So we have to be like boosting OGV. So think about how can MC to MC build up more physically IR collaboration initiative. So for example, right now we have leadership right now, or even though in the future we can be more like IXP testing, something like that. Or the second one would be IXP kernel strategy management. So IXP, this project shouldn't be the responsible for OGV or for TN. It's for the whole IXP in Taiwan. Because like if we really believe that exchange, we through exchange cultivate leadership, but why our membership they don't take our exchange product? So if we really want to sell the product to our customer, but no one really try for it, how can we really tell our customer like this product is really good or this product is really cultivating leadership? So IXP shouldn't be the responsibility for OGB or TN, should be responsibility for all the asset curve. And for the third one will be the online and physical marketing integration. So thinking about MC are doing the online marketing, how can the LC to cooperate with MC and using the physical channel to do development? And for IGT, we'll be mainly focusing on using the supply and demand knowledge to do some product management. And for the OGT, we'll be more focusing on the precise marketing, just as I mentioned before, to directly approach the people who are really wanting to take GT this product instead of doing a massive marketing. And also to thinking about how to GE this product running in Taiwan in a healthy way, instead of only selling it in the short-term internship program. And for TN back office, I'll mainly talking about the job description because that will be more specific for you guys to know what are they going to do. So for TN will be control about the talent development quality, and also the TN process implementation, just as I mentioned before. And for finance, will be make sure about the annual fee model revise. This annual fee really is the same for this LC, or even though the finance standard implementation. Make sure the whole entity they are really fulfilling those six finance standards. Fulfilling those six finance standards. And for OD will be OD model implementation, and the mainly JD for this role is network strategy communication. You have to make sure that all the LCP know about the MC strategy and how can an LC cooperate with MC strategy. For marketing, will be mainly focused with OGB cooperation, but also to think about how can we really manage all the online and physical channel in a more smart way or in a more efficient way. So in the end of Manifesto present, I would like to tell you guys is like, I hope that all these things, like we could do it together because we are the change that we seek. We are the change that we are going to make as Taiwan become a better as in Taiwan. So this is the end of my Manifesto present. Thank you everyone.
Okay, so now we have a short break until 5:40. So during the break time, you can go to the toilet or drink some water. Just make sure you are awake after you come back. And please come back on time at the 5:40. Okay, so now you can go to have a break.
stop。哎，它不能暂停，
没关系，就这样。
哎，我问一下。
继续什么关系？
因为我现在应该连的不是我自己的。
太侮辱了，智商最侮辱了，最侮辱了智商。刚伤的是，哦，这个我也在等着。
Test. Okay.
What do you want to do?
Okay, so guys, please find your teammates to back to the plenary right now. CDGs, please help me to find your delegates. Make sure that they start to come inside the plenary. Okay, so if you have already gone to the toilet and drink the water, please back to your seat. We are going to start the next part in 5 minutes. Okay, so we are going to start our next part in 1 minute. Please, all the CDG, make sure your delegate has already accuracy.
谢谢。哎，那这样我要怎么唱？我怎么唱？我这样，还是这样我们就今天接吻？那我们接吻喽。那我擦侧面，我太干太痒，痒到一个不行。然后我没有护手。
Okay, so now it's 5:40. So may I have the chief delegates to make sure that all the delegates back to the seat right now. And if like your delegate, you are still missing some of the delegates, that's the CDG stand up. So I know that some of the delegates still missing. So if like you have no delegates that's missing, you can be seated. But if there's somebody that's missing, you keep standing. Okay, the CDG. Run. Okay. So WCU is still missing. Sorry, NTU is still missing someone. It's over here. NCHU, IUG, and one IUG. Okay. Okay, cool. So before we're going to start our questioning panel, that I would like to keep you guys have the energy high, because like this is a very important moment for AIESEC in Taiwan, and I don't want you to miss that because of your low energy. So can everybody stand up? Can everybody stand up? And believe me, I try very hard to think of an energizer activity, but I really think of the idea now, so I will keep it the traditional way. Okay. So I will actually we have like an external guest here. So I would like to ask Jimmy to give us a number. No matter you have his part, as much as you can. Step on his face. It's okay, just continue away, okay? And stretch in the best possible way to keep yourself awake, okay? Okay, so hey AIESEC! What's up? Hey AIESEC! What's up? Okay, so you can sit down now. I just want to make sure that your energy level is okay. So before we still continuing the sessions, I have a few words that for this plenary. It's like MCP elections for the MCP candidate is never easy. Trust me, it's never easy. So no matter it's Tony and Eric, they too will need your highly respect to show to their efforts and also their presentation on the stage. So no matter the process is, I would like you guys to like at least keep your energy level there. And if you're really feeling really sleepy, I know, Like we have a very comfortable plenary, I know. It's okay, but just do any possible way to keep yourself away. Like no matter if you want, to have a chewing gum from other people, or like to ask your teammate to step on your face, it's okay. Okay? Just want you guys to have energy because this is really important for AIESEC Taiwan. Guys, you are choosing the next leader for AIESEC Taiwan. You know what that means? Do you really know what that means? Okay, so I don't want you to miss that. So hope that you have the high energy. And let's continue to the end of today's election agenda. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Can I count on you?
Yes.
Are you trustworthy?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue our election agenda. Okay.
Okay, so now we are going to start the MCP questioning. And MCP questioning, we will have questions from the board, current and sitting, and the two candidates. For this part, the objective of this part is to evaluate candidates from national perspective. So for the regulation, the first one is our preparation time and answering time will depend on every question. And the second, your reminder, it will ring once when there are 30 seconds left. And when time is up, the it will ring non-stop. Okay, so for this stage, our first part is second board questioning. And now let me welcome our election second board. The first one is our 1819 AIESEC in Taiwan MCP Jarvis rule. Second one is our 1718 AIESEC in Taiwan MCP. Also the current board of advisor, Jubilee. And the last one is our 1998 AIESEC in Taiwan MCP. Also the current board of advisor, Jimmy Wong. Okay, so please take a seat. And now, election subcommittee, please start your question.
Okay, so now let's welcome our candidate again!
Okay, so now our election subcommittee, please start your question.
Hi, don't look at the screen. Hi, Eric. Hi, I used to have a member, his name was Eric.
Oh yeah.
But the size is so different. You guys know. So sometimes I would, just mix up. Hi, Tony. I think Tony's size is a little bit similar with my previous Eric member in my team. Okay, if you guys know, then no. All right. So, hello. Welcome to today's second board interview. Not interview, the panel question. So the first question from me that I would like to know if right now we are playing a Hunger Game. I love to play Hunger Game all the time. All right. So, in your opinion, which LC in this Hunger Game be killed in the first place, and which LC can be sustained become the last winner, right? And I'll give you 15 seconds. Also, share us your why. All right? Can I go first with Tony? Okay, Tony, can you start?
Hello. Okay. Thank you for the discussion. the winner I choose is CCU, and the LC will be killed is WZU. The reason why WCCU is like the talk about the LC Foundation and the membership. I think they have strong power, especially the 2019 LCP. It have a very strong woman power of it. I think the LCD will have a clear direction and structure, and also can make the strategy to change this game to become winner. For WZU, it's just like right now it really challenge their membership capacity. They really truly need the guidance. Is the role of MC to that instruct how can they face the membership challenge, and also what kind of the strategy they have in the end to reverse this game. So that is the challenge about the membership capacity and also their LC, like whole organization capacity. Thank you.
Okay, so my choose that the LC will be the winner is also CCU. Yeah, because I feel like Renee is a girl who really demonstrating a girl power. So like I believe that she can use her like smart strategy to avoid all the other candidates and to win in the last moment. And for the people, I think will be the people who they also will be the first kill will be NCTU, because like the reason why is because I think Zach is a person like he is really willing to demonstrate himself. So maybe that when he is trying to like to behave as a hero and save other LC, but he will be the person who will be the first kill. Yeah, so I think NCTU will be the first place who will be killed. Yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the question objective we don't take serious in the first part, okay? It's just a warm up so we can see in their perspective profile which will be killed and which is the winner in general. Thank you.
Okay, so hello Tony and Eric. And my first question is if there's only one communication app that you can download on your phone to communicate virtually, which one will you choose? So no matter like what kind of like the network you can reach on the communication app, you just focus on the quality or it's like the traits or the characteristic of the communication app. Which one will you choose? Okay, and in these questions, you have 30 seconds to think and you have 1 minute to answer, and Tony will go first.
Thank you, Jarvis, for this discussion. The app I will choose is Tinder. The reason why I choose Tinder is like imagine like this app, you have a lot of the people you can meet and a lot of experience you can share from them. Maybe some of people use it in different ways. It's fine. But like compared to Line, compared to Facebook, you need to add a friend and add some people to join this group. For my imagination in the future, will create a lot of experience. And also you like Tinder is an app, you can already show this kind of experience to attract you. If you accept, you can touch the fire. And also if you don't like it, you can start off it. That is our future direction about us experience is about like to create diverse learning experience. And also you can choose what you want in this kind of experience. Thank you.
Okay, and so for my answer will be WhatsApp, because like AIESEC is an organization. AIESEC is like it's an international organization. So like many of the countries they use WhatsApp, like Line and like maybe WeChat, or maybe like some of the communication are only using a specific country. But I think WhatsApp is the most worldwide. So I think I will use it for our communication for internal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. So the objective of this question is to know what's the candidate's value as an individual, because when you choose the different app, you will actually have a different quality and characteristic of the app, and so to see what the candidate will choose based on their value as an individual. Okay, so my next question is. Okay, so my question is please to show the appreciation to someone who support you during the election process. Okay, so you can just show directly the appreciation to the person that you are thankful for. Okay, so this question will go with Eric first, and you have 30 seconds to think and 1.5 minutes to answer.
Sorry, can I clarify the question? It's about like we need to appreciate only one person or just randomly share like as more as we can.
It did not have a restrict there. Okay, yeah, you can choose.
Thank you so much.
first one I want to thank is for Juby. Yeah, so thank you. Because like she really helps me about when I'm thinking about my own like manifesto or my own personal value. She helped me think all the things together. So everything's for her. And the second one be the election manager. Because those people are the ones who really support me a lot during the whole election process, give me some guidance for making me to be more clear for the following process. And that's going to be our MC team. Yeah, because like they give me the power, they give me the attitude, they give me the strength for me to stand on stage and to represent the MCP candidate. Thank you.
First things, I want to thank all of the members we have touched before, like Tina, we are doing the LC experience. Like Tracy, you're my member all the time, like during the like grants PPT and also LCP. And also all the members, Chen Yu and Xin Ting, and also like the whole EP right now still in AIESEC. Eric, like I see you are have a really strong growth, like from like the LCP return until right now the MC turn. Yeah, really appreciate that and still we stand on the same page in five police position. A whole member, life is really valuable. What AIESEC have is that we create a leadership experience and also empower them to still stay in AIESEC. And also the national LCP team. We are the national leader to protect this organization. Sometimes we have arguments, sometimes we have a lot of fight, but in the end, we're fighting for this organization to see the brilliant future. In the end, Juby, like I think that you are the only like the previous leader like right now in the stage. Well, you have been leader and I have been member around like over 30 years. You really inspire me. Thank you so much.
Okay, so the objective of this question is like appreciation is very powerful and in AIESEC as well. So this question is to have the plenary to know how the candidates they will to show their positive feedback to someone, especially as a leader. Okay, so my next question is, okay, so if you can eliminate one of the 6 values, which one will you choose and why? So this question will go first with Tommy, and you have 30 seconds to think and 1 minute to answer.
Thank you for this question. The one as a value I will eliminate is living diversity. The reason why is actually this organization that our core is focusing on how can we fulfill peace and fulfill humankind's potential. That we need to understand each other. But actually, I think that is our core of our essence. We don't need to emphasize on it. So we just need to focus on what is our core that AIESEC should have. And also, this value is already living in our minds. So I will eliminate it. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, I will eliminate enjoy participation. Because like for me, I believe like we shouldn't use one value to force our membership to do one thing. So I think it's like if they really want to do it, they will do it by themselves. We don't need to use a 6 value to make them to force them to do the things, or even though to enjoy the things that in AIESEC happen. Yeah, so I will eliminate enjoy participation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the answer. So the question is to see each candidate how the value, because in the end of the day, some criteria you can look through a lot of data to make decisions. If you look through all the data and you come out the inside and you still haven't decided, it will be really depends on the leader's value to make the decisions. So to see how the candidate is going to prioritize the values, especially within AIESEC. So that will be the objective of the questions. So the next question is, okay, so if you are not elected as the MCP next year, what will be your next step after your cover vote and why? So this question will go first with Eric, and you have 30 seconds to think and 1 minute to answer.
So for me, for internal AIESEC perspective, I will make sure that OGT pipeline is very clear and the development of OGT dysfunction. Because I think the fundamental solution for the OGT problem is we have to build out a really strong foundation for this function, and no matter on human resources or talent development. So this will be the main focus I'm going to do. But outside of AIESEC, I think like during the whole election process, I kind of like figured out the things I really care about. So maybe I'll keep following it and just to make sure that I'm still living as AIESEC in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the discussion. After my career role, I'm going to developing country that I'm not selected as MCP. Because for my personal value, how can I equip the young talent to based on the leadership capacity to change their life and change in their entity? So I want to see what does a developing country look like, and also how can I, based on my AIESEC experience, to truly change their lives and also change the society happen. So if I got selected, I'll move to some developing country, maybe Myanmar, maybe Cambodia. If I want to work some youth organization, development organization to see this happen. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the objective of this question is to know how AIESEC impacts the two candidates to carry our AIESEC forward. Because in the end of the day, we cannot carry the title, but the thing that will carry and keep us, the only title that we can take away is AIESEC. So how are you going to behave as AIESEC even though you don't have the positions? And that will be the objective of the questions. And before we're moving on the question, I just have a reminder. It's like the bell for one time is only 30 seconds left, so we can continue it. And if the time's up, that will be non-stop. Okay, just let you know that. Okay. And my next question is, okay, it's not. Okay, so it's Julie's questions.
It's me again. Hi. First, I appreciate your appreciation in the previous questions. I'm going to ask my first questions. Again, don't follow on the screen. So, in this room, if we need to pick up 4 people to represent your brain, your heart, your body, and also how you look like. Okay, so 4 people. Again, to represent your brain, your heart, your body, and how will you look like? Basically, it's your shape of bodies or face. Okay, so you can choose 4 people, right? And give me the specific reason. So I give you 30 seconds to prepare, and 1 minute can answer. So later on, I will get Tony first and Eric. Okay, you can start count the time.
Sorry, can I clarify the question? So after we choose the 4 people, how much time we have to elaborate like why we choose these people?
1 minute.
Thank you so much.
Okay, can we start? Can we start from? Can we start from Tony?
Okay. Just 4 people. It's called NCP LCB Wellington, and Tracy LCB TPU, Tina, my runner, and also the other 1 people is Liu Yuejun from YCLCP. The reason why the 4 part they have the same thing is about their heart. Like their heart, they are really fight for what kind of leader want to develop and what we strive for excellence. That's a really core value. No matter, I don't care about like the body or the leadership. The heart is the main thing about what we should want AIESEC, and also the clarity, like the clarity. Thank you.
Can you mention again 4 people, which part they will represent?
So it should be like divided into 4 parts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I give me the more 30 seconds to elaborate?
No, you can directly start. Like who represent your brain, who represent your heart, who represent your body, who represent your face.
Okay. So my face will be Tina. Yeah, she looks really like beautiful right now. Second, Tracy is about heart. Like the touch when I touch always, I touch her, she always have really kindness from her heart. And June is you always have a brain, you have a strong, she's a strong girl, and use a lot of sharp accent way to find out solution. And no, June is a body, like take action. And also like Stephen from SKLCP is about brain. And he always share about some really insightful things to share with me. Thank you.
Okay, and as for me, for the brain, I would choose a Jing, like 2017 CCU LC VPOGT. Yeah, and the reason why is that we have the same background of OGT knowledge, and also our brain mind is the same. So I would choose him as the part of my brain. My heart would be Tracy, because like she joined AIESEC with me as the same team, and we have the same value on running and with AIESEC. So I will choose her as my heart. And my body, I think, would be Jerry, like since 2019 of TPU, because the reason why we are all getting fatter in AIESEC experience. Yeah, so I think that's cool. And for the last one, for loop line, I will choose Jarvis, because like I think like sometimes when we are facing some awkward thing, we have the same kind of face impression, and usually we will be like to be left by our teammates. So I think we have the same look like just like now. Yeah, I'm so awkward.
Okay, thank you. So now I will need you to participate in this interview as well. So I need 4 volunteers. So I prefer that will be 2 from member. Okay. Okay, 2 from members in AIESEC Taiwan, 2 from international delegates. Okay. So who are the international delegates? Can you raise your hand? Okay, I know. Okay, a lot of you are here. So, all right, I will count 1, 2, 3, and who want to join this interview with us, you can raise your hand, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. Can I get this girl? Yes. So you are from NTHU. Okay. Okay. So I will get it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This handsome guy. So where are you from? AIESEC in
I'm from PolyU.
Poly. Okay. So we still need 1 more AIESEC Taiwan member and 1 international delegate. All right. So okay. 1, 2, 3. Here. Yes. Where are you from?
From Hong Kong HKU.
Oh, okay, cool, good. So we need 1 more Taiwanese delegate. Hello, hi. Anybody in this room? Okay, wait. Let me count. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can I have? Okay. So I want this cute girl with glass. Yeah, short hair. Yes. Okay. So where's the first girl? Oh, okay. Come. Yeah. Oh, 2 girls, 2 boys. This is not. Okay, so do you have any preference to choose any girls on the date with you later in the next 90 minutes, 90 seconds? I will assign for you. Okay. I will be Mary and Paul. Okay. So maybe 2 of you can together and 2 of you, right? Yeah, ma'am. So 2 of you. Okay. So 2 of you will be first. And let's welcome Eric. So write these questions. I would like to invite 2 members, and I'll give 1 task to Eric. And this task is something that I draw on the paper. So later on, Eric can see the paper, and 2 of them will follow with the Eric instruction to complete the same picture as what I draw in this paper. All right, is it clear enough? Yes? Okay, so can I get 2 papers for these 2 cubes? Okay, 2 pens. Okay. Thank you. So I expect 2 of you can turn in this side. Okay. So Eric, you can turn in this side. All right. So I just want to make sure you don't have any eyes in here. Or do I need to check your ass or not? Okay. So you guys ready? Yeah. Okay. So the time when you open, we will count 90 minutes to complete this mission. 90 seconds. Okay. Okay. So wait a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
So first draw a big star in the middle of the picture. Big star, big one. Okay, and inside the middle of the heart, middle of the star, there's a heart inside. Okay, and on the right hand side and the left hand side of the star, there's two marks. There's like a check on it on both sides. Okay, and below the star, there's a triangle, but it's not formal triangle, it's upside down triangle. Okay, and above the star, there's draw 3 different squares, like on the same row. Yeah, 3 different squares on the same row. Cool. Okay, and for the middle square, draw a circle inside, just a circle. Yeah, and for the right hand side and the left hand side, for the square, please draw a circle again together. Draw a circle, yeah, and color it. Fill it with color. Only for the right hand side and left hand side. Cool. That's the end of the picture. Thank you.
Okay, so everything can show everyone how it looks in the correct way. Okay, so 2 of our delegates, you also can show to our other delegates how you draw in the paper. Right? Let me check. Okay, so what's yours? Okay, oh, nice, cool. Okay, yeah, it's quite correct. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So 2 of you also can, write your phone number to approach this conference to meet your friends, right? Okay. So that's invited Tony. I need 2 more white paper. Okay. Thank you. All right, nice. So same instructions, okay? Hug each other. No, just kidding. Okay, so after you open the paper, we will count 90 seconds, right? Okay, just a second. Okay, start.
Okay, so right now you need to fold your paper, It's fold. Yeah, just like the girl. Look at the girl. Okay, fold like this. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. Okay, and you open. So from middle, then fold it again in different way. Yes, like a girl. You're very shy, Like during the middle side, you need to draw a heart. No. It's yeah, like this. Yes. No. Look at the girl. Yes. Draw a heart. Yeah, draw the heart. And then write down P and F. Eyes are always at P stand for people who has potential. P and F. Amazing. So during the left side, you need to draw 2 stars, but like the star is from upper side and the down side. Yeah, like. Look at her. You're really smart. So you need to color the star. Just color it. And the right side also draw 2 stars. You don't need to color it, just 2 stars. And the upper right side to draw a moon. It's not a full moon, it's a half moon. Yes. And the down side to draw a sun.
Okay, time's up. Okay, let's check what you guys get. Okay, so you can show the delegates. That is how it looks. So the original one is from me. So cute, right? I think I got the talent. Yeah, it looks like this. Okay, so thank you. So in these questions, the objective is to show all of the delegates in this room to see how our 2 candidates communicate their picture clearly in the future. Okay. Next. All right. So I would like to ask 2 candidates, please choose one LC
who can represent Taiwan and tell us why. All right. So you have 1 minute to prepare and 1 minute to answer. And later on, I will get answers started from Tony.
Thank you for the discussion. The answer I chose is NCTU. Because the reason why they always shout out 最有最目标 and something like that. But the main thing I want to emphasize about their culture is about mission, steering, and movement. They focus on the people and also the people development. I think that is also our core about Taiwan culture. We really care about people and also we embrace and like engage each other. I just also want to see in the future, like the LC can do the networking. They really care about each other growth and also really have a positive like competition with each other. So that is, I want to share the LC. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for the discussion. My answer will be CCU again, but the reason why is based on the geography. Because like AIESEC is on the 23.5 degrees of the line, and Taiwan is the only country that on this line, but we still it's not a desert weather. It's good weather in AIESEC. Yeah, so I think that's a really unique point of Taiwan. So maybe we can use the geography like the perspective to answer this question. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay. So the objective of this question is we like to see the candidates, their perspective of Taiwan or how they values the point of the values about Taiwan. Let's see the next. Okay, so based on the reality of AIESEC in Taiwan, should we invest more effort in developing top talent youth, or be open to everyone? Okay, is it clear? So you will have 1 minute to prepare and 1.5 minutes to answer, and I will start it from Eric.
Okay, so thanks for discussion. So my answer will be top talent youth. The reason why based on 3 perspectives. The first one is operation, because if we recruit the top talent of youth in ASEAN Taiwan, we can support the more smoothly operation process for recently current reality. So for me, it's a better way to achieve a bigger number of performance or even though bigger impact of ASEAN Taiwan. And for a second perspective will be they will have more resources, because the reason why they are the top talent is because they have more resources, or even though they have more authority to make a decision. So for me, those will be my second perspective. And for my third perspective, is like the most people of the top talent youth, they will be more influential. Because no matter because of their parents' background, or even though maybe for their own personal understanding or learning, they have a huge knowledge for a really specific area, and also maybe they also have the authority to make a bigger decision. Yeah, so that's the reason why I would choose the top talent. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. The answer I will ask is called top talent. For definition of top talent is who have a benefit mindset. They are a leader who learns like how can we do well and also do something good. So based on this definition, there are three perspectives. First of all, priority, because like if you open to everyone, actually we didn't have a target audience, we didn't have a focus. It will put a lot of resource to manage how can we manage this diverse kind of diverse people to happen. So if we have the really benefit mindset people, they will think about how can we do well and also be well and also do good to others. Second, efficiency. When we do the communication, we'll do the manage some operation. How can we use these people to manage and also delegate to other people? In the part, spread out the impact. For me, like develop is I have an engaged and very young person. It's our behalf. But develop, I want to emphasize about if they have a capacity, they know what is a peace look like, and they have a kind heart. In the end, I want to like these people can truly engage other people to see what is a leadership look like. Because in the past, like Gandhi, like different kinds of leaders, they lead their country build a revolution. But the leader, they have really kind and strong mindset, and then lead other people to join the movement. I think that is should AIESEC have in this organization to apply. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's quite interesting to gather two of candidate answer about developing top talents in Taiwan, right? But I have one follow-up questions. When I prepare the interview question, I go back the AIESEC way again. So yesterday I read whole night and I feel touched. Okay, so there's one really important that element in AIESEC. We talk about our how. So in our how, we do believe that in every young leader should be developed by AIESEC, right? So in your perspective, how can we develop the top talent to reach the peace and fulfillment potential, which is the AIESEC way we mentioned about our how, that we do believe leadership is a fundamental solution and it can be developed in every young people. So how are we going to achieve that? So I'll give you, like, maybe we can directly answer and you can directly answer.
Thank you. Okay, so for me, like, I wouldn't think like we only cultivate a top talent. But it's like the way we cultivate the top talent, we can make the process be more efficient. So like maybe like if we cultivate every young person in the world, that should be our end goal. That's right. But like maybe we could do it like step by step. If we first cultivate a group of people that have a huge high talent and high quality talent, and they can be more accessible to other people, and the people will be attracted to another people. So that the spreading of the impact will be more faster than we just invest all our money and time in the whole general use. Yeah, that's my answer for it. Thank you.
Thank you for our question. The one thing I want to mention is my teammate, like MCP, and Winnie just mentioned. We want to see the people they have a value. You want to see people that are eager to build out the boat and to see the seed. So the thing I want to mention about we are fighting for target the top talent. But what if we need to let us see what is a global leader look like? That what I want to mention is the view of a global leader. They want to be a part of global leader. Second, it's about the way we manage our like communication. Usually we have a like the vertical like communication. How we can make the horizontal? We can like initiate some new ideas implement to our team. We can make this leader will feel about we are engaged in this process. We are not a staff. We are not a member. We are doing this. We are focusing on we are developing your user potential. So I just want to mention about if you want to create a top talent, when you create an environment, have communicative. When you create an environment, we have like a lot of innovation just from member from people. In the end, all the membership, we have a breakthrough initiative. That's what we see as a point of that. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's the objective. So I would like to show two of the candidates their perspective of how should we, who should be AIESEC current target audience now. Sorry, so I'll describe again. The objectives will be, I would like to show two of the candidates their perspective of what kind of the target audience that AIESEC should target now. Next question. Okay, so that's the view of the different perspectives. So in the following perspective, I would like to ask you to list your priorities as MCP and explain your why. So there's around 10 different perspectives. You can record it. First is about your MC team management. Second, LCP team management. Third, products performance growth. Fourth, AIESEC in Taiwan representative included international relationship. Following is organization long-term development and our board of advisor management and personal life and family relationship. And the last will be money. So I will give you 1 minute to prioritize on your list and explain why. You will have 1 minute to prepare and 1.5 minutes to answer. I would like to start from Tony.
Okay, so my priority first of all is like personal life because if you are not strong enough to support this team, your whole generation will really have a great influence. Second is the MC team, and third will be LCP team because these are the national leader team. We need to focus on their like development to reverse, have an effective communication to lead this generation to move forward. And third part will be long-term development because we need to have a constructive like long-term way to run for what I said to goodbye. In the end, we will step by step to achieve what is sustainability AIESEC. And that's why it will be family because like for me, my personal core is like work, like compare work and over the family actually. Yeah, so sometimes I need to like take care of my family. In the end, it's product performance and international relationship. Because product and international relationship, if we build on the talent, they have a strong capacity. Then we can initiate how can we match the performance and also our international relationship to achieve our goals. And yeah, that's all. And also BOA. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Sorry, we haven't started finished question. So sorry. So let me mention after the long-term development, it should be that BOA system because right now, no matter MC to LC, everyone like we need a strong development to reach to like that knowledge management and also our the way we do AIESEC to get that, no matter spirit, no matter strategy, no matter knowledge. So the BOA system should be built out no matter from MC side to LC side, also LC side. And then it will be focused on family. And then per product performance in our relationship. The end is money because I said wrong value, not money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this question. So my first one is also a personal life because I believe that we have to be a work-life balance as an executor. So my personal life would be my first priority, and then will be my family because I have a really strong connection with my family. So I think it will be my second priority. And for third one with the organization, the long-term developments because we have to know like AIESEC the problem of AIESEC and also the potential of AIESEC is because that we do it as 1 year. So we have to think about every decision we make, it will affect the long-term decision making. And for the next one will be LCP management, because the LCP are the people who strive for this entity at a very direct perspective, because they directly approach the market, they directly take care of the membership. And yet the following will be the MC team, because we have to make sure that all the national leaders are on the same boat and we are striving for the same purpose. And for the next one will be Taiwan representative, which means international relationship. Because we have to make sure the IR partnership is really stable so that we can make our product growth. Yeah. And after the product growth would be BOD management, because when we're doing internal operation, we have to think about the external perspective. So it's really important for us to engage the BOD's voice with their advisement inside our decision making. And for the last one will be my money for living. Yeah, because maybe I'm not really need a lot of money for living. Yeah, so I think that would be my last priority. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see the objective of the questions. So I want to show two of the delegates their values and share. I want to show the two of the candidates their value and show
in front of you guys. All right. So next questions. Okay. So here we come to a debate. All right. So the following is a debate questions. The debate topic will be currently, in your opinion, does cross-cultural exchanges still relevant to achieve the peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential? So I will put Eric and proposition and Tony to argue with the point, all right, to opposite. All right, so you guys have 1.5 minutes to prepare and 3 minutes to answer with the point. All right, is it clear enough? Okay.
Sorry, let me clarify the question. Is like answering time 3 minutes, we share the 3 minutes, or just like individual have 3 minutes? Okay, thank you.
That started from the opposite side.
Hello, Eric. Right now, I really opposite about like cross-cultural exchange can achieve our vision PNF. The reason first. Right now, the global trend, we can have a virtual learning to see what's the world look like, what happened in the global trend. Maybe we should focus on leadership development because leadership is really the solution to achieve, for example, humankind's potential. It's about the mindset, it's about the character, it's also about the skills. If we didn't have skills, how can I lead the leaders that they can like use efficiency and also like the communication effective to lead this team to lead a generation? And for example, Gandhi, like the India leader. Take for example about like the like different like in the history of leaders. They lead this generation, lead this country because of having strong connection. So I think we should put more emphasis about what kind of a culture and also what is the reality, what is Taiwan even the world based on the virtual learning, based on the like the this kind of the learning environment. We should develop leaders not only just cross-cultural experience. I think based on the reality right now, already have a lot of problems, have a lot of issue. I think the main thing we should focus on how can we equip the leader to have ignites their desire to focus on how can they, based on their environment, to lead this generation, to reverse this generation. So I think that even like in the past, Taiwan had the sunflower revolution. In Hong Kong, we have a yellow umbrella revolution. This kind of revolution is about they really care about the entity. They lead this generation, the youth lead this generation to to like fight for their rights, to fight for their future. So I think we need to more emphasize about like we need to create different kinds of learning experience, whether in Taiwan or whether virtually, that this kind of experience can truly have a strong mindset leader and equip their skills and then achieve the bigger purpose. So that's the one thing I think maybe like exchange now no longer anymore about like exchange is the only solution to achieve PNF because it's the like E generation, 一时代. So like we can have different kinds of learning way. So that's the reason why.
So should I just debate with him or I can provide my own idea?
You will have 3 minutes can share
My own
that
perspective.
why you support about this point.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So, but like for me, like I know the global trend, like definitely like, but just because of the global trend, like we are more emphasizing on the global village. So we have to know more about what is happening in the outside world. So that's definitely for us. We have to do the exchange. So the first one will be through the exchange we can understand in the world issue more about like not only mentally like or even on the knowledge side, but actually like you do it as by your hand. You make your hand dirty. You just go inside the country and just don't understand the whole reality of the country. So that's really important. And for the second one is the potential. Because like when we are staying in our original country, it kind of like is our comfort zone. But when you get off of your own country, you will kind of like to push you to see more potential you can have. Even though you can find out like a different kind of training that you can maybe doing in that country. Yeah, so I think kind of like to push the potential for yourself. And for the last one is like to help you to use a bigger vision to see the road. Because like now usually for example Taiwanese people we know the road issue by the TV or even by the newspaper. But actually the most efficiency to understand the road issue is just you directly go to the country and ask about the local people. So for me, these 3 perspectives will be the reason why I still believe like doing the cross-cultural exchange to really achieve the peace and fulfillment of human potential. This is my question. Thank you.
Can I invite 2 of the candidates that each of you can go back the answer and get 1 point which is against your answer and make the conclusion of it that are you support or you are in opposite, not support in this topic. So again, you can choose like from each of answer to get 1 point to argue again and make the conclusion on your answer about why you support and why you're against. Okay, so I'll give you 15 seconds and 30 seconds to conclude it. All right. I start with Tony.
Okay, so my support will be like the understanding because you are truly asking local people who truly know what's the word apply. Our against is about like the explore your comfort zone because actually no matter 城市浪人, no matter this kind of organization they do in the local, they want to ignite their comfort zone like in Taiwan. So I think comfort zone is not only about when you step out of the world you can explore the comfort zone. It's about like, how you position yourself and why is the comfort zone apply. So that is the thing I will answer. Thank you.
So you support this happen or you're against in your conclusion? Yeah.
I think I will support, like because about the first reason, understanding.
Okay, so you be convinced by the other candidate?
Mhm.
All right, cool. So Eric, so you can pick one of these points and give a conclusion.
Okay, so like just Tony mentioned about the virtual learning. I definitely believe that it is a trend, but I think like for recently, like the way we learn by virtually is mostly about online. But maybe in the future, if the virtual reality, this kind of technology is really well prepared and well developed, maybe one day, maybe you can just use a VR technology to do an exchange. Because I just directly know what's happened, even though the temperature, the building, the scenery, all is just definitely 100% true. Yeah, so I think that may be a potential in the future, but for now, I think I'll still stick to my own original answer. The through exchange for recently is the only solution for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's see the objective of the questions. So I want to see 2 of the candidates, how they present themselves and also their critical thinking and make it logical. Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is a voice from the ice cream from last century. Yeah, they are from 1998, 1999. So my question would be, identify who is the most important external partner of AIESEC in Taiwan now. How will you strengthen your cooperation with them in your term? Thank you. So I would like it to start with Eric. You have 45 seconds to sing and 1 minute to answer. then followed by Tom. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll answer first. I'm not sure about the time. Yeah, so my external partner will be choose Xanax because how will I strengthen my cooperation with them will be mostly based on two dimensions. The first one will be the product cooperation. Like recently in 1819 we're already trying to do is that how can we really enlarge the cooperation between Xanax and our product. For now recently only for OGT. But thinking about how can we cooperate with OGB with IEXT program, or even though cooperate with IGT, the local external EPs when they come to Taiwan, they can do their leadership training also. So that's the first one will be product cooperation. And for the second one will be the lead facilitating. Like thinking about every time for each conference, Beatrice or Kawade will come to Taiwan to demonstrate or even though give a session for everyone. But how can we really make this database? And how can we really make sure that in the future, if once Beatrice they wouldn't come to Taiwan, how can we as Taiwan can do our own lead facilitate? So I think these two perspectives will be my focus for the future term. Yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you for discussion. I'll identify if we want to achieve youth leadership movement. I will choose the government and also emphasize about education affairs, youth association, because it's cultural routine and balance. Right now, it's a global trend about how can we become a youth movement. I think we need to emphasize about AIESEC can be the priority, cooperate with the government. We have priority choice. We can see the youth voice and use their action and reaction. Take for WCU, for example, they already have cooperate with the high school. They have the 高中优质化计划. It's a cooperation. How can we ignite high school youth through exchange? So the first priority is about recognition. How can we cooperate with the government, through the other external support to bridge out the connection? No matter legal process, no matter exchange product, we can have a relevant experience around the youth. Also, not only the youth in AIESEC, and also the youth in high school, and also different kinds of perspective. Based on my research data, they already open a lot of resources here. We just need to think about how to communicate with them and strategy do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So the reason why I ask this question is to see the focus of the candidate, because when you really focus, you will try to seek resources from your external partner. So based on the partner you choose, this means that how you would like to develop your foreign affairs and also impact all the members, in AIESEC in your term. Okay, next question. So my next question would be taking the LCs in middle of Taiwan as an example. What are the key challenges they each face, and how do you plan to help them during your term? Middle of Taiwan, those LC. So the timing will be you have 30 seconds to sing and 1 minute to answer. This time start from Tom.
Thank you for this question. Right now, for middle of term, I have THN, CHUA, and also FCU. THN FCU face the same problem about the leadership capacity. They only have few leaders. And CHUA face about their financial sustainability and also cooperation. But the way I need to help them is maybe right now, based on the history, FCU and THU, they are cooperate together. Right now, I think maybe regional is a really great solution for all of them. They can combine together. The thing is about how can we ensure each kind of leader experience they can lead of them, if they include the capacity in no part, they can separate from different houses, from different LC. That's all my answer. Thank you.
Okay, so just Tony mentioned, like there's THU and CHU and FCU in the middle of ASEAN Taiwan. So like I'm thinking about the first one is the same as Tony for the regional cooperation because I think the potential because I like in this winter like NCHU have cooperation with the FCU on the camp cooperation. So maybe we're thinking about how can we really utilize our resources like together and to make sure we are all creating a maximum of impact of the middle of Taiwan. And second one will be a focused product because like I think through LC they have their own potential for a specific product. So how can we utilize MC resources to directly support on a specific product to make them grow and to sustain their financial capacity? So this is my answer. Thank you.
So the reason why I asked this question is that I want to use the 2LC as an example to see if our MC candidate really understand the needs and the challenges LC face. Yeah, thank you. So my final question is that I want to see. Okay, start from question. If you can be the MCP for 3 years, what do you want to achieve after your term, 3 years term? And based on that, how would you plan your first year? What do you want to achieve in the first year? You go, yeah. So you have 45 seconds to sing and 90 seconds to answer. I would like to start from Eric.
Okay, so my answer for this question is like just my manifesto present, my 3 years picture of ASEAN Taiwan is we can be the youth movement and also we can cultivate the capacity of youth and also be the voice of youth. So ensure that we can make this picture come true, we have to make sure that during the first year of ASEAN Taiwan, like new generation, we have to ensure the foundation of the LC, no matter in financial or talent capacity side. So like during my manifesto, I'm talking about how can I really utilize MC resources, how can MC really cooperate with LC to make sure the LC are growing in a healthy way. So I think that would be my answer for this question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this question. The end goal I want to see AIESEC in Taiwan is the first priority, the leadership organization in Taiwan. So based on this end goal, I have like the 3 years direction. First of all, is attractive leader. So like we need to like make focus on how can we make more that our leaders can like let's see that you see about AIESEC. Wow, they have amazing leaders, like their experience, their like leadership style. They want to really look forward of it. And secondly, about the resource, how can we make sure the resource engagement connect with the government, company, and also different kinds of perspective. Third part, exposure. I will say that you got so like if we engage a resource, like we have a really great like experience happen. In the end, we need to just do like exposure of very social media, a very different kind of channel. Which is that I actually cultivate youth leadership, and we have a lot of people recognize it. That's what we see in Taiwan. So based on back to the first year, attractive leader, the one mindset I want to change this organization is about how can we change the mindset from vertical to horizontal. We communicate horizontal, we initiate different kinds of ideas. We're developing leaders, not developing the staff and workers in mindset. Second is about how can we use a lot of initiatives to create this environment. We engage you to join it, and we have a lot of innovation habit. So that is how I want to transform this organization into a top leader organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The reason why I asked this question is about a couple of years ago when I talked to the founder of AIESEC, Shi Zhenrong. He actually quite understand what AIESEC is doing and the challenge of AIESEC in Taiwan. When we talked, he said the MC of AIESEC in Taiwan will lay the continuity because in every year we change all the staff. So when I ask this question, I would encourage both of you to think about long term and not only about 1 year. So maybe you can reshape your idea after you get elected and then also help the members to understand about your idea more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So in this part, we have already covered the second question.
So during a whole interview process, I'm curious. I think you guys are more curious than us, right? Because we are going to leave AIESEC soon or not. So I'm helping 12 candidates to promote their team. Okay. So I'm really wondering in the following three perspectives from the characteristic, from the skills and mindset with behavior. These three of different perspectives. Please specifically tell me three elements of the criteria would you like to choose in 1920 your MC team, right? Okay, so we're going to apply, okay. If you know the person sitting next to you want to apply, just slap on his face or her face, make sure they are awake, right? Okay. So I'll give you 30 seconds to prepare and 1 minute to answer. Of course, if you want to do some promotion of your team, you also can share. Okay, can I start it from Eric?
Okay, so my criteria of my 1990 MC team. So for characteristic, I will think it's like being more approachable. It's like MC and LC relationship should be really friendly and even really cooperate together. So for me, I really want to my MC team could be really approachable, no matter for LC or even for external. So approachable is the first criteria. And for the skill will be the product sense. Because during my manifesto, everyone could know about that. I really want to emphasize about the product knowledge of like each LC development. The process will be my criteria, and also the organization thinking. Because like if you want to thinking about supporting an LC to growth in a foundation, growth in a sustainable way, we have to make sure about every decision we make is as an organization perspective. And for the last one, the mindset behavior will be the growth mindset. And behave benefit mindset. Just like they mentioned, because like I believe that benefit mindset is really important. It's like we cultivate people not only for their performance but also for leadership development. Yeah, so this will be my criteria for my next team. Thank you.
Okay, just give delegate 10 seconds. I think they are making notes, right? Okay. Okay, Tony next.
Guys in Taiwan, in 1920 generation, I want to see the team. First of all, we really care about the mindset. The mindset is about we care this entity and we really want to fight for create a leadership development. So it's all about the benefit mindset. And also second, growth mindset. We are eager to learn. Though you didn't have PR, you didn't have PD sense, it's fine. But you already start to learn what kind of solution you have. Because the structure is really innovative, but I think NC really have this structure. Second is about skill. It's not only about your functional practical skill, what kind of achievement you have, but what's the problem you define. Second, it's about the communication skill. In long way run, I want the MC team to really communicate it and also engage the whole LC. We collect the ideas and also bring a lot of innovation. My MC team need to really develop the LCVP. We can start from it and also create a brilliant generation. So in the end of it, I really want to lead the whole MC team. Though maybe you join my team will be really harsh. Maybe the first before we got elected, we have a lot of training, a lot of planning. But in the end, it's now finally we're proud of it. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I finished all the questions.
So the second board questioning is officially end. And first of all, let's thank our soccer board. Yes. Thank you, our thanks for doing so much, doing ideas and questions with our candidates. Thank you. Let's thank them again. the candidate can speak as well. So after successful questioning, we are also have our current MCP questioning to understand the candidates, their thoughts about the organizational developments. Thus, let's invite 1819 MC Infinity to ask some questions for our beloved candidates. So we will have our MCPD marketing Lena to be the representative of 1819 MC team. So Lena. Oh, okay. So now we are going to start our question.
Hi candidates, the following would be the questions from MCP. The first question would be, please provide and explain a marketing strategy and from an external trend that you could implement for us in Taiwan in the next 5 years to create a life-changing experience. You have 1 minute to think about it and 1.5 minutes to answer it. And we will start from candidate number 1.
Thank you for this question. Let me focus 2 parts. First of all, key opinion leader implementation. Second is about like social media evolution. First of all, like imagine like right now you're using YouTube, you're using Instagram, you see a lot of like the YouTuber like provide different kinds of the experience. Like Nikita always say, 这叫这个好吗? Like something like that. I want to emphasize about how can we use the key opinion leader to spread out what is the opinion and implement to the future direction. For imagination, if we cannot find the key opinion leader right now, we can create a key opinion leader. We need to target some of the people that have this impact. And also, no matter in the virtual side, especially in the local campus. Right now, LC have a lot of local campus. So we need to emphasize about, we need to target this kind of key opinion leader. And also, maybe you are the key opinion leader to spread out your words and also what's the opinion to expose our social networking. And also let's see how AIESEC moves really fast. Because the key opinion leader are really great solution or even great opportunities. When they say the words, a lot of people will follow and will recognize it. Second is about social media revolution. Right now we have like a MC like Instagram, and like usually our social media just like Facebook. This is a really like based on the right now data, it shows that most of people they first the priority is using YouTube. Second is Instagram. So how can we like expose their like the media social media channel which will echo to our youth? What they are thinking, what is the behavior. So maybe YouTube channel should be open. They will share about the OJ's experience and also like they can truly show immediately what kind of experience they have. Imagine maybe your EP, they go for exchange. They can share about what exchange experience they have. We're posting to our Instagram, our YouTube. We can record it immediately and see what people will be attract this kind of experience. This is an evolution right now. If we didn't take this generation, we'll lose it. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, there's also 2 strategies. For me, the first one would be present marketing. Because like recently we have to more specific on the persona side, or even though we can know more understanding about what is our target audience for our product selling. So the first one will be the persona marketing, and the reason why I choose this strategy is because like recently like the e-commerce like 电子商务 is really have a highly potential recently. So how can we thinking about like we can make our conversation be automatically? For example, if the EP they can add us online and it's like I want to go to Sri Lanka and it will be a lot of Sri Lanka information too. Like automatically. Yeah, and this really could work because I think MOC I already have learned this kind of good case. Maybe in Taiwan maybe we can implement also. And also it's a big data analysis. Because in previous times in Taiwan, we started do the Google analysis or something like that kind of things. So we can so we couldn't make sure that what is our target audience. So in the future I will be more specific to directly find our potential market and our specific market also. And for the second one, relational development. It's also not only for the physical, not only for the online, but also for the physical. Because I recently like I'll see you have a very huge potential for doing the physical channel development, which means like cooperate with the school, cooperate with your local organization, something like that. Just like it's really a potential for you guys to directly approach the organization related close to your school market. Yeah. So that would be my 2 strategy for it. Thank you.
So the objective of this question is to see if candidate understands current marketing trends and has forward-thinking ability to contribute the AIESEC leadership experience. Thank you. And the next question. Why should an external partner co-create life-changing experience with us through an AIESEC product? And how will you develop AIESEC's impact in the next 5 years? You'll have 1 minute for preparations and 1 minute to answer it. And it will start from candidate number 2. Thank you.
Thanks for your question. Yeah, so for IGT side, I would like to be more focusing on for the AP Asia Pacific supply and demand because we have a very clear like support system. For example, the regional office, so it can provide us a lot of data, hard data to prove that why would the EP come to Taiwan to do their internship program, and also we can combine with our government policy, which is like new southern policy, 现在上政策. So thinking about how can we cooperate with government policy and also the understanding of Asia Pacific supply and demand. And for the second one will be IGB. And IGB will be more directly focusing on social impact or is the CSR. Because like the government, the company, they can think about how can they cooperate with us and to benefit their CSR program. And because we have a very diverse exchange participant from different kind of countries. Because Taiwan has a really high quality of project. So lots of different kind of entities would like to come to Taiwan. So it could also enhance the diversity for the government or even the organization to do the CSR program. Yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. And my answer will be IGT will be focused on like emphasize the leadership development. Actually, they still have a lot of organizations who offer leadership experience. They deeply believe we do develop youth leadership for a better future. Maybe the first communication we need to communicate that leadership. Maybe emphasize need to focus on how to cooperate in BD this kind of function. And long term, we equip the sales that based on our precise marketing. We see what is our the youth market in the global and provide an insight. Maybe you found marketing talent. To find this kind of the region or country. Second is IGB. For IGB, I want to emphasize 2 things. First of all, SDG alignment. Just echo with Ari. SDG is a global trend right now. How can we say CSR right now is aligned with the SDG? How can we based on SDG program to decide to like align the demand of it and cooperate with them? Second is about impact model. Right now we have a Dreamland and Region Campaign Conference. Actually, it's to have a different kinds of learning and impact. How we utilize the other resource to design the long-term model? I consult with 17, 18 SDG IGB. DBO and CAMP can have different kinds of learning experience and we should cover together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the objective of this question is to understand the directions of the AIESEC product from MCP candidates and your future of development with external. So question 3, please debrief the current status of AIESEC in Taiwan's organizational structure from your perspective. In 1920, how will your ideal organizational culture be shaped by your leadership style? You have 1 minute to prepare and 1 minute to answer it. And we'll start with candidate number 1.
Thank you for this question. For right now, the current state is about like vertical structure, like MC centralizes a lot of things and LC just follow and manage all of it. But ideally in 1920, it should be have for MC side. We need to like see what MC can do, the resource and with the BDPR, this kind of structure needs to be engaged. And my leadership style is engaged and also communicative. So for LC base, my future organization structure, it should be like regional based. Right now we have like 15 LC. We should keep this 15 LC in long way run. We have a lot of like NCU and ME, the market expansion. It's not only about exchange performance growth, it's also about how can we engage this market of youth and also like we have around 10 or even over 10 member experience. We truly call it as a leader and also we spread out impact of the market. Right now it's a trend. Right now some of the students approach MC like that on this kind of campus and approach MC. They want to rewrite the AIESEC again. So how can we use this kind of development to like maintain the LC and also let the LC to develop this kind of market? In no way wrong. I will see AIESEC have a lot of campus have it, but in the end we'll have a regional space. Thank you very much.
Okay, so like recently, like for the organization structure, for recently it's like MC, LC, and the LC member. But like for my 920 picture, I believe like MC and LC we should on the same boat. So like we should aiming for the same purpose. We should like aiming for the same goal. So which means like we should shape as a whole national leaders image to our membership. Because like the reason why how can I do it is like I will do it through the LC visit, product visit to make the membership know more about what is MC doing, and even though we can like make the membership to have imagination about what the national leader could be. So for me, like I will hope like there will be no more gap between MC to LC, and we cooperate together and aiming for a bigger purpose. Yeah, so that would be my ideal organization culture in 1920. Thank you.
Thank you. The objective of this question is to know how the candidates perceive the culture now and are aware of your leadership style, which is going to shape our organization culture. Question 4 would be, if AIESEC Taiwan wants to achieve organizational sustainability, please propose one thing you will put our main financial investment in as an MCP of 1920. You have 1 minute to prepare and 1 minute to answer it, and it will start from candidate number 2.
Okay, so for my answer will be the financial investment will be on IGT to do national sales. Because the reason why I decided to choose this as my investment is because I believe that recently like the reason why IGT couldn't really make a big progress in Taiwan is because we couldn't showcase how important this product should be in Taiwanese country. So if we really have a cooperation with a big company such as ASUS, AIESEC or something like that, we could definitely make sure that this product has its own value and its importance in Taiwan. This society, so that we can make sure that if we really shape this kind of cooperation model together, it could be a GCP for us to sell to another external partner, so we can make our IGT grow. So that will be my financial investment. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. My end focus will be about like AIESEC brand management. I will invest on it because we are thinking about what MC should do and what LC should do. I also already have the product sales. The end goal, I already have the NCPP product to do the networking development. So based on like what MC can do and also LC capacity right now, I think the brand management should MC really involve in charge of it. Because that's a long-term solution to make sure our brand and also exposure to each kind of a young person. We have a really long time that we didn't communicate about what's the leadership in this society. So I think I need to create this kind of atmosphere, create this kind of environment. Where the key solution will have a lot of membership here. The thing we only need to do is to see what is the AIESEC brand, what is the leadership look like. to let everyone know like this organization can challenge their potential. So like based on the investment, no matter the PR event, no matter business development, I'll make sure the ROI will be the income like over than the cost. So make sure we have a long-term financial sustainability, and in the end, we are calling about leadership sustainability. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. The objective of this question is to see if candidates understand how will you allocate resources and based on the reality and long-term perspective as well. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the end of MC question. So thank you 1819 MC team. And right now we are going to proceed the last part of today's election agenda, which is candidate questioning. So each of candidate has already prepared some questions that they would like to ask the other candidate. So let's start with the first question.
Hello, Eric. This is a question I want to ask you. Based on the reference, this is called about the stage of brand development and the tracking measures. To evaluate our entire brand reality with the data, how can we move forward to the next stage? We have 1 minute to ask, 1 minute to answer.
Okay, thanks for your question. So I think current status for us Taiwan would be the memorable because like for OGX product, people they know we are doing OGX, but they aren't really understanding about what is concrete inside of our OGX product. So how can we move forward to favor or even though the distinctive? So for the favorite one, I think we should be more enhancing about the brand advocacy status in our customer flow. So think about can really utilize the returning resources to make sure that they could be the brand in like exposure in the LC market. And for the distinctive stage, I think the biggest problem is that we couldn't like have a strong knowledge to build out the difference between our competitors. And the reason is because our infrastructure. So for example, the website, we couldn't have enough talent or high talent to create a really awesome website to compare with our competitors. So I think that's our weakness recently. But I think like in my future term, I would maybe require for like just invest money on the IM system to make sure our system could be really competitive with our competitors. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. The main objective of this question is to understand how MCP defines the problems and provide constructive strategy for energy development. Yeah. Next one.
Okay, this is my question. So how would you define the positions between AAT and BOD in current AIESEC Taiwan reality, and how will they contribute to this entity? And for this question will be 1 minute for you to think and 1 minute for you to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. For this question, I won't use contribute this wording. I will change into engage. Because based on us experience, we also have lifelong connection, which is AAT and our alumni experience. I think we need to engage with them. So based on AAT, I think it's about the asset spirit and also the whole entity spirit and the connection between the whole entity. Because they are different as already, what kind of thing they have is about six value, about what kind of leadership style they define, also contribute to this Taiwan society. I want to let them to share about what is their leadership style and also impact to the society. For broadly, it will more focus on what is strategy, what is external relevance to support us to growth based on external data, this external relevance. So I need to engage with the BOD. It's just like how can we make AIESEC better? Like we are the youth organization. So sometimes we didn't know really clear about what's external inside or even based on what resource we cannot evaluate a lot. BOD can really strong system because we are the AIESECer. We are all the AIESECer, we have a very strong connection. So based on these kind of things, I think we can co-create, engage to make AIESEC better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The objective of this question is to understand how will a candidate perceive the external resources to support the reality of AIESEC Taiwan. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question will be, what do you think about the positioning between MC and LC? How do you manage this relationship as MC, as an NCPP OGT in 1819? The question will be 1 minute and answer will be 1 minute.
Okay, so for me, like the MC perspective will be more like a resource integration. So we consolidate all the information, all the resources from other entities or even from our local LC's reality. And for LC will be a group of people who do the resource utilization. So they will be the person who utilize the MC's resources. So like doing my 1819 turn as a MCP OGT, like I will separate the 3D perspective. The first one will be the IR support system. Because previously, like for the IR system, it's not really strong in AIESEC Taiwan. But recently, based on the Asia Pacific supply and demand, I really create a lot of opportunities, especially for Taiwanese people. So these resources will be delegated to the LC. And for the second one is based on my understanding and based on the data and the reference for the current reality. I will make some decisions making and also to like limited the LC to do the OGT function. Yeah, but this after doing this decision, how can an LC really utilize the resources? So maybe this will be a good case for us to like consolidate the resources for the following 2 months, and it will be support for the future terms. Yeah, and this will be my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. The objective is to understand how the candidates manage MC role and MC-LC relationship.
Okay, so that's my question again. So based on your picture, which would be your focus product and what kind of action or investment will you do? And this question will be 1 minute for you to think, 1 minute for you to answer.
Can I clarify the question is about like the box product, you should only one or even like you can like there's no limited.
Just one, thank you.
Thank you for the discussion. My answer will be OGB because the reason why, first of all, is our financial reality. Actually, like OGB, that can if you invest, maybe you can earn more. That's our ROI. Second is about like the product relevance. Like I think right now you should like more people to explore the horizon and also see what's global look like through exchange. So I think OGB is still relevant to this Taiwan society based on exchange experience. The action I will do is based on different council rule. For my NCPP OGB, I will focus on sales development. Based on the data recent years, right now we only have like we drop out 30% of conversion rate from accept to approve, just because our sales capacity. So NCPP OGB need to focus on our like networking development to equip the LCV capacity. For marketing, it's from online to offline, and still LC make sure we have consistent about the marketing strategy. For brand, when we focus on leadership, we deliver even leadership image through each kind of channel and each kind of experience. Then we allow them to know about what kind of opportunity we have. So long term is the long term cycle to contribute the whole product development. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your question. The objective of this question is to understand the ability about the candidate's resource management skill. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question will be if you don't get elected for this election, what will you say to the whole plenary? The question that you have 1 minute to think, one is to prepare, one is to prepare, one is to answer.
Okay, so just do a small speech. Yeah. Okay, so like if I really didn't get elected at the moment, I think I would just tell this plenary about like, don't be afraid to take action. Cause like 3 years ago, I never think about as a member, active member, I could like stand on the stage, like running for the MCP. So like never underestimated your sales capacity or your ability. Because in AIESEC, there's just so many potential like waiting for you to discover. So I hope like after like even though after this this election, I hope that every membership you guys could think about what you want to achieve in AIESEC and how can you become a better person in AIESEC. So this will be my last key message for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for this inspiring answer. So the objective is to see candidate's core value and how to align his future direction. Thank you.
Okay, so my last question is, please list down the criteria you will use to set up your priorities as the NCP this role. And you have 1 minute to think and 1 minute to answer.
MCP really need to have it. Second is about organizational thinking. It's not only about finance, about talent, but also about the whole perspective based on the balance scorecard. Rent, and financial investment, prices, customer, these all the things you should be happy in this organization. So I want to see the point of view about how can MCP to become this role to utilize all of the resource and based on how entity reality to make a right decision making. So that's our priority based on criteria. Thank you.
Thanks for Tony's answer. And the objective for this question is to understand how the candidate will do the decision making and the priority setting in the role of MCP. So thank you for your answer.
So thanks the two candidates, and this is the end of today's election agenda. So let's stand up and thank our candidate number 1 and candidate number 2. friend, we can sit down right now.
Okay, so this is the end of today's MCP questioning, and thank our election committee and current MCP and our two candidates. So this is the wrap up for today's election agenda. After a few announcements, we will head to dinner. So now, allow me to give some reminders for day 2. The first one is CDGs, please hand in your LC question by today 23:59. The live submission will not be accepted. The second one is the most important one. Tomorrow is the last day of our MCP election, so make sure you can seize every opportunity to know our beloved candidates well. Okay, so thank you everyone for participating in today's election, and now we will have some OC announcements, right? So let's invite our OCP.
Okay, so we have our OCP here. Let's give it up to your OCP, Cynthia!
Okay, again, I will use Chinese to announce OC notification, and Christine will translate to English. 好，首先一样是关于就是那个 plenary 里面的部分。那刚刚有一些中午已经讲过了。那等一下就是一样，请各个分会派2个人去外面拿晚餐，然后一样只能在 B1 吃，然后不能可以留任何的垃圾，还有你们自己的东西在这个组 plenary 里面。
Okay, so later is your dinner time. Are you excited? Yeah, no, you don't want to have dinner? No,